Hi friends, I'm Matt from theshavingcadre.com. Tonight I'm going to be doing a bevel set and work up to 5K on a Naniwa Superstone 1K and a Naniwa Superstone 5K. And then I will do a separate video with finishing this razor I'm going to work on an Arkansas, a black Arkansas, and using Toma Nogura and two other Noguras to set the finishing edge as a Japanese Arkansas stone edge. The razor I'm going to hone this evening is a Simmons Hardware Special number 8, which is a double concave grind, which is very similar to a bellied full hollow, but the belly is much more pronounced. You can actually see it in the blade shape. You can see the belly there, and it's much more pronounced than anything you might see out of for example, like a Korat or something like that. So I'll go ahead and angle the camera down, get my stone wetted, and we can do a little honing. Scoot it back, there we go. And I'm using an old bar mat as a water and slurry catchment system. I just recently kind of thought about the idea, the fact that I had it sitting out in my garage. I had it under my buffing table, and I just thought, why am I putting towels under all my stuff whenever I'm honing inside? I may as well just use this. So if you can get a hold of an old bar mat, this will work great. It's a lot cheaper than spending money on a honing bath. So give it a try if you don't have one. I think you can usually buy these things for 15 or 20 bucks online. I think I was looking the other day, the cheapest honing bath you can get is somewhere around, I think it's the $60 to $70 range. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kill my edge. There is an edge on this. It doesn't have much of one, but it does have an edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill it on the side of my stone. Just do a couple swipes just to make sure it is gone. There we go. And we will bring this guy up. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start off by just seeing how it's feeling on the stone. It's really making great contact to start with. I can feel that the razor is making contact with the stone all the way up and down. I really do not think this is going to be a long bevel set at all. And I think I'm going to do some half strokes back and forth. I'll check for a burr, and then we will go ahead and go through my standard progression. So go ahead and do a little pressure. Okay, so that's 40 strokes, half strokes. Now I'm checking for a burr. And I do have a burr pretty much across the entire bevel. The only part that I don't have a full burr is at the very heel, so I'm gonna give it another 20. I did 40. I'm gonna do another 20 strokes, and then we're gonna check again. Heel leading. Okay, I ended up doing, I think it was 30 strokes. And checking the burr. I have burr up and down, and now I did miss the toe. So I'm going to give it another 30 just to make sure we focus on the toe. And I'll go ahead and do some edge toe leading strokes now. So that's about 30 strokes, half strokes. And there it is. I've got a burr continuous and crisp up and down the edge. So that's right at 100 half strokes. So I'm going to do another 100 half strokes going back, but I'm going to check at 50 to see where our burr is on this other side to see if it's come out. And before I do that, I'm going to try something my friend Mike does. And he drives the slurry or the swarf off of his stones. So we're going to try that out and see if it has any effect on my edge. All right, so I'm going to do heel leading first. All right, so that's 50. And we'll check for a burr. I can see the burr. All right, I've got a burr up and down until about the heel, just maybe 2/8 above the heel and about 2/8 above the toe. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna switch to toe leading strokes and drive that swarf off. I'm gonna go ahead and do another, just go ahead and do another 50, making sure that I keep contact with the toe and the heel. All right, there's 50. And we have a definite burr, very obvious, on the heel, all the way up to the toe. Great. All right, so now my typical progression is what I'll do is I'll go ahead, now I'll switch it over, and we'll do, I usually cut my, my strokes in half. So, and I have it again, and I have it again, and I have it again until I get back down to 1 and 1. So we're gonna do 50 half strokes, 50 half strokes back, and then we're gonna do 25, 25, and then I usually go to like 13 or 15, and then I'll have it again and have it again until we're down to it. So that is my process for setting a bevel. I'm sure that it has a name by some form magistrate, I'm sure, has at some point declared the name of that as the burr method, including reduction, whatever, but it's just, this is my process. So go ahead and do my 50. I went ahead and did 25, and I'm going to go ahead and go toe leading. So it's 25. Now there should be a burr all the way across the blade now from that action. And there it is, all the way across the blade. So all we did was we turned that burr around, and it went from being on one side of the blade to the other. So now we're going to do it again and again and again, and that's going to give us a crisp, clean bevel. Go ahead and do heel leading first. So there's 25. There's another 25. All right. Solid burr right up and down the blade. Great. I'll go ahead and spray that swarf off again. There's 25. There's 25. So there's 15. 15. 8. 8. 4. 4. 3. 2. 2. And 1. And we should not have a burr. We've got a very minor burr, which will come out next strokes. Okay, so go ahead and again spray the swarf off. I'm going to do somewhere around 25 X strokes, and it looks like I've got a hair of a smile on the toe, so I may do a couple little rolling X strokes as well. But we're going to do these X strokes, and then I will go ahead and do much lighter pressure. So the first ones are with some pressure, and then I'll back off the pressure. And the razor's already wanting to really grab on the hone. That's one of my measures to know whenever you're really close to being finished, is the speed at which your razor is letting it skate across the top. As it starts grabbing a hold of it and slowing down, you pretty well know you're getting there. So the rolling X strokes. There we go. Now I'll spray the swarf off again. Now I'm going to go ahead and do another 25-ish with light pressure. It's really starting to slow down even with the really light pressure. So I'm going to probably call it. And you can also see the swarf is really just following the blade really well. It's not, there's nothing really going under it. I'd say the bevel is set. My standard bevel set process to tell if our bevel is set, use the thumb pad test. If I feel like I'm going to get cut, that bevel is set. I also like to use the tomato test, which of course I didn't have any handy. And I should have grabbed a packing peanut to do another test, our buddy Bill M does the packing peanut test. Slices of tomato pretty great. I'm gonna give it just a few more passes to make up for the tomato. Probably doesn't need to be done, but I'll do a few more light pressure passes, and then we will move on to the 5K. Now these Simmons Hardware razors, if you can get your hands on one, they are nice. These special number 8s, if you can find one in good condition, they're fantastic shavers. But I rarely ever see them in great condition, so good luck. And if it's on eBay, I'll probably be in competition with you. All right, so that does it for the 1K. And of course, I always flatten my stones after each honing session. Gotta add a little juice to the phone. Battery is about to die on us. All right, so here's the 5K, the Norton 5K. Norton, Naniwa, rather. Go ahead and tighten it in. Now, even with this bar mat, I don't necessarily need this stone holder. I could probably hone directly on that easy, but it's always nice to have it raised a little bit. I've often thought about just getting those rubber pucks that you can put underneath your work. I've often thought about picking up one of those to kind of make it easier switching the stones. Because personally, I'm not big into spending a whole bunch of money and buying a bunch more stone holders. And again, this is kind of more by feel on this stone. Seeing when the stone starts to really grab a hold of the blade and it slows down, you can kind of feel when you're right at that point that you are finished. That's where the blade really is starting to struggle going through the blade, or going through the stone without pressure behind it. At least that's my process. Some guys don't do a whole lot of strokes on the 5K. I kind of use it as a secondary bevel cutting procedure just to make sure that you are on the right path. I do often use about 1.5 times plus the weight of the blade. And then again, just like the 1K, I will end up lightening up on my pressure. Now before I go to the Arkansas stone with the JNat slurries, I will strop this razor. And then we will progress. I'm going to do some circles. Make sure I get all edges of that. Some people say these circles aren't really necessary, but I like to throw them in. It's really starting to slow down now. Do some half strokes. And the water's really wanting to ride right up on the blade. There's no part of it that's not being pushed by the razor. It's really starting to slow down. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the swarf off. And I will go ahead and do a few more strokes, and then with lighter pressure. And I'd say we are done on the 5K, and we will go ahead and start another video for part 2 with the Naniwa progression. Throw in a few rolling X strokes to make sure I get the toe. Yep, that edge is right there. Really not wanting to go anywhere. Wanting to stick to the stone hard. Slowing down. Really bulldozing that water. It is done. All right, so that's the end of this video. I really appreciate you watching and checking out my, my channel. If you would like, please like and subscribe to my channel. I do straight shaves and honing and restoration work and all sorts of other stuff. So I would be happy to have you guys join me for more of my escapades. And again, thanks for stopping by, and check out theshavingcadre.com, the premier shaving forum on the internet. It's like a brotherhood. It's a lot of fun out there. So thanks a lot. Have a good night.